This is actual footage of chess fans everywhere right now, reeling because history has been made in Toronto, Canada. We were searching for the next challenger to Ding Liren, world chess champion, and we found him. But what a drama it was. This is the final round. Hikaru Nakamura with white here needs no introduction against young Domaraju Gukesh with black. Gukesh happy with a draw, could go to tie breaks then. What would happen here? Let's jump in, and even if you know the result right, let's just enjoy the show here. What a great game it was. Hikaru opening with d4, not e4, which has been played a lot. He wants something a bit different, keep pieces on the board, and Gukesh goes for a QGA. Queen's Gambit accepted. Probably the most famous opening in the world right now. The Queen's Gambit anyway, since the Netflix documentary. We get the knights developing into the game. e3, e6 played, the pawn captured, and now I'm drawing on the board the main moves here. But what does Gukesh do? He's missed a sideline here. How many sidelines have we seen these tournaments? All the players so well prepared here, taking a leaf out of Cagnus Marlson's book. So castles, the main move, but not played by Hikaru. He mixes up his move order. It's only move 5. We get knight c3 played, now c5, and a3, again imprecise. You should castle here, but this is 2700 chess, right? The smallest of inaccuracies make a difference here. The evaluation bar, having a little poop of its pants, not a major one. It's not like diarrhea, get a nappy, but it's a tweak. Black is equalizing. Both players now castle. Out of breath, sorry, I just ran up the stairs. And now we get a6, looking for the b5 expansion, not rook a7, that would be stupid. These guys far too good. Here comes the b pawn, rumbling down the board, bishop drops back, we get captures, and now Hikaru critical of this decision to not go rook d1 and play for this, rendering b4 impossible soon, which we see in the game. He didn't like this, and this, and this, and the pawn structure symmetrical. How do you drum up play? But okay, e4 a way to go, according to the all-powerful metal monster of an engine. But Hikaru captures first, and it allows Gukesh to play this exceptional move, praised by Magnus, who was in commentary yesterday. What does he do? Not developing a piece. Pawn to b4. Simple looking stuff in a way. Why was it praised so highly? Well, Hikaru's advantage with the white pieces dissipating fast. If you capture, not played, then knight c6 comes. You hit these 2 points, say you try and hold on to your pawn, well, no good, because the knight hops forth. Huge pressure here. But also you're blockading d5. Bishop's coming. Black is doing positionally great. Not good. So instead, we see knight e4 centralizing. Takes on a3 played. Pawn recaptures, bishop b7, and Gukesh has solved any opening problems. He's equalized. The knight drops back. You could take on f6, but Hikaru wants to keep pieces on the board. Knight d5 now played. Queen e4, an interesting line. Tricky. X-raying the undefended bishop, if the knight is captured. But not played, just bishop d2. We get captures. Bishop takes. Knight d7 developing. And now bishop b1 comes on to the more pertinent diagonal, eyeballing that black monarch. Rook c8, nice move. The bishop slides back. Knight f6, very harmonious, and now you can do something like rook d1 if you want to keep an eye on the d pawn. But Hikaru needing to win, he goes bishop to d3 instead, eyeballing at a6 here and giving a pawn, because Gukesh smashes off that knight on f3, picks up the central pawn, and there's no time to take here, or the queen picks up the bishop. Sure, you take here, but giving your bishops for one rook, not good. So instead, we see rook f to d1. Now we get queen a4, sliding out of the rook's x-ray, adding some support here. Hikaru dives right in with queen b7. Reminds me of, was it literally the first game of this tournament when Fabi had the white pieces, invaded with queen b7 against Hikaru. Hikaru just held a draw that game. The bishop on e7 hit. It comes to c5 here, and bishop e1 adds some important defense around the king. Opens up the rook. a5 from Gukesh, holding on to his extra pawn. He's in the driver's seat, and yet it's Hikaru that needs to win, and so Hikaru gambles. He rolls those dice with queen to b5. He's saying, if you want to avoid this exchange and go for queen f4, which is a dangerous attack for black with knight g4 stuff coming, then go for it. Because in response, I'm going to try and stave off the attack, win your a pawn, and push this rook's pawn down the board. It gets weird, it gets complicated. But Gukesh, what a professional. He doesn't want to go in for it, couldn't see a way through to get a significant advantage, so the ladies leave the board, but Hikaru deflated. How do you play for a win here? Gukesh a pawn ahead here, and with an absolutely fine position to boot. His piece is coming into the game. Sure, Hikaru's got the bishops, but it's not worth a pawn. a4 now played, king f8, g3, king e7, king e2, logical stuff. Gukesh gains some space. A pair of rooks leave the board. The knight hits the outpost. Hikaru could trade the rooks. Party's done, everybody go home, but he wants to keep some spark alive. Try and drum something up. Bishop c5, rook c1 back, none of this stuff overly changing the evaluation of the position. G-pawn now hit, so g5 played. That's just an Ali Reza move these days. Loves picking up that pawn. Can be good and bad, mostly bad this tournament. Bishop b5 hits the knight, and sure enough, we don't see a knight blunder. Bishop a3 played, hitting the rook, so no time to take that knight. Hikaru goes rook c2. I never analysed rook a1. What if he actually tries to hit here and here? Okay, bishop b4, the tricky move. You take me, I take you. You take me, I take back with the knight. Okay, clever tactics. So Hikaru goes rook c2. The knight on c6, still being x-rayed, so Gukesh goes for simplification. He picks up his knight and forks Hikaru's king here. He wants to chow down, so that one's forced. Rook recaptures. It sacrifices a pawn, but simplifies things. 4 on 4, but opposite coloured bishops. Good luck Hikaru winning this. We get bishop b4 back. Bishop d3, the players have made time control, and now this is a fascinating moment. Loose pieces drop off the board, right? Gukesh had this very interesting move of bishop to f8. You eyeball this pawn then with the rook here, so it has to be defended, and then bishop g7, suddenly your rook running out of squares, king g6 on the way. You know, you'd have to do something like this, and then bishop e8, very dicey, but you just survive and your rook doesn't drop off the board. But risky variation. Always look for your loose pieces in these kinds of tactical positions. Very important in chess. Don't lose that concentration. You know, if you have a glass of water next to you, don't be afraid to just pick it up, chuck it in your own face if it helps you stay alert at the board. The arbiters are often equipped with towels on their person. They can help you with a bit of cleanup. So we get e5 from Gukesh though. Not played. Was a nice idea, but this doesn't change the material evaluation of the position. This e-pawn rumbling, but Hikaru's got his own pawns going, pushed now with h4, both players with passes, but these bishops and rooks just cancelling each other out. How do you really make progress? It's highlighted by bishop d8. Sure, you can attack this one and take it, but the moment you do, you drop a5. And Hikaru now allows this exchange. He wants to try and run the a-pawn, but Gukesh has got his own play going with this e-pawn. Few more moves on the board. The rook shuffling, the white king in a bit of a bind, getting checked. Hikaru makes progress down the board with the a-pawn in just a moment, as we're going to see. But now, bishop d2, and it's a double attack. What does Hikaru do? Sacrifices his bishop over here. But it's not quite so swashbuckling as it appears, because when you get this variation play out, king moves, queen made, rook sacrificed, e3 comes in time, supporting that bishop, and there's nothing to be done. Hikaru's not going to try and push here. There's nothing to play for. All you can do is give up this rook for that material. The players play it to a draw all the way to the end. Full-blooded is what we like to see. Fair play to both of them. Great tournament for Hikaru, but he comes up just short for a second time in a row. And yes, Mr. Domaraju Gukesh got the job done. He drew this game. Fabi inexplicably chucked away a +5 advantage against Jan Nepomniachtchi, and they therefore both drew. That meant that they're behind Gukesh by half a point. So our 17-year-old young Indian challenger is the one who now goes on to face Ding Liren. Exciting stuff. Love the chess world right now. Really interesting. The vacuum left behind by Magnus Carlsen and the players that start to fill it. Smash subscribe if you loved this video. It really helps me out. Can't speak properly today. And for another epic game, check out the video on screen. Thanks a lot for watching, and cheers.